I have a question for you. Can you beat Terraria Skyblock without gravity? No world, no platforms, no rope, no mounts, no minecart tracks, no gravity. To beat Terraria Skyblock without gravity, I'll be designing farms to kill enemies upside down, saving my items from falling into the abyss, duplicating dirt, fishing, creating unique strategies to kill Skeletron, acquiring lava in a completely empty world, and killing the wall of flesh. Oh, and in medium core, all without gravity. And this all starts with... wood is the most important resource in this entire world, because it is my only way to build NPC houses, craft items, and explore the world. Once the tree grew, I used the wood to expand the island. But I quickly discovered that platforms don't work without gravity, and you simply fall through them. But I came across this comment that said you can stand on hammered platforms. So I tested it, and it didn't work. Expanding the island upward and using it to spawn slimes was extremely inefficient, because the slimes had zero qualms with yeeting themselves into oblivion. So I extended the island, and a slime spawned on the other side of the platform. From slimes, you can collect bombs and iron ore. But to kill slimes, I would need to design a strategy without gravity and limited resources. Considering I only have a copper short sword, the design would need to immobilize the slimes long enough for me to kill them. Here is the extremely intricate blueprint I designed, building a funnel to catch the slimes as they jump to a secondary platform. I can kill them from underneath. It worked, and slimes were being funneled into the lower level. The only issue was the slimes were not immobilized, and my copper short sword has the range of a toothpick. So I was killed and experienced my first death. When I tried to collect my items, I faced a similar issue again, except with the zombie. Fortunately, they're idiots. I spent the rest of the night inside the safety box, because it was safe. I killed my first slime and nearly died in the process. Just let me kill it, please! I required a way to kill slimes without dying in the process. Cue the slime farm Mark II. Adding stairs to lead the slimes into a box. I used my copper short sword to stab them through a 1-block gap. With the Mark II, I could successfully kill a slime without dying. But zombies aren't as stupid as I thought, because one managed to squeeze its arm through the 1-block gap and snap me in half. This taught me a valuable lesson. Always have a platform above me to catch my equipment. The Mark II slime farm was frankly horrendously slow, so I built the Mark III. The Mark III uses a slime trap to isolate the slimes. Oh yeah! I built the Mark III on the other side of the island and a roof to prevent the loss of my items. Then I made a terrible mistake. While I'm waiting for you to forget what you just witnessed, this is the perfect time to like the video. I acquired 2 gold from slimes and met the requirements for the merchant to spawn. Building an upside down NPC house, we lovingly stared into each other's eyes and recreated that one scene from Spider-Man. I purchased a piggy bank from the merchant to store my equipment so I don't repeat losing all of my items when I die. Also, I purchased shurikens. Now that the slime farm is operational, I turned my attention towards acquiring... To craft the grappling hook, you require lead for chains and hooks from skeletons. And killing skeletons all starts by acquiring 2 bombs. Now that I have a bomb, the demolitionist can spawn. Building an NPC house, Seth the guide arrived. At the moment, Seth is completely useless. But this did make me curious about how many items I can actually craft. There are 5,455 items in the game. I can craft 19. I discovered that you can't use a chair without gravity. Also, it causes the game to wig out. The demolitionist arrived and I purchased bombs. Mining all of the dirt on the island, I crafted a dirt bomb. But without gravity, throwable items fall upward, so I built a hook out of wood to catch the bomb as it fell. Now that I have access to infinite dirt, wood isn't my only block. With the dirt, I used the water to craft mud and extended the jungle. But more importantly, with the dirt, I can build a cave farm. Because while I wasn't recording, a demon eye dive bombed me and all of my items fell into the abyss, including the only wood remaining in the entire world. In Terraria, an entire day lasts 24 real-life minutes, 15 for the day and 9 for the night. I was wasting 37.5% of the night when I could have been farming more slimes. But something happened that made me want to buy a flight to San Francisco so I could jump off the Golden Gate Bridge. I killed a slime and collected 5 lead ore. But Stylus, isn't that a good thing because you can build a bucket? You need 6 lead ore to build a bucket. This was the start of me going insane. That I'm pretty sure has nothing to do with leaving the orbit. Funnily enough, the platforms make it extremely easy to recover my equipment when it falls from space. Fish! Flying fish! See? I told you I was going crazy. Don't act like I didn't warn you. On a less mentally deranged note, it's now a jungle biome, and I purchased the furnace from the merchant. Testing the cave farm, 2 slimes perfectly threw themselves to death through a 2-block gap. If there is a hole, slimes will unanimously decide to yeet themselves into oblivion. Sadly, they don't have the IQ to think more than 1 step ahead. Also, it had a slight kink with fall damage. I recovered my equipment and tested using a bow to kill the slimes. It was unbearably slow. Building the cave farm version 2, I used a slime trap to immobilize the slimes. By killing slimes during the day and the night, I was using 100% of my time to kill more slimes. But spoiler alert, version 2 sucks, and I still haven't solved the fall damage issue. Building the version 3, I made 2 slime traps side by side, and by adding a door, the slimes will jump into the slime traps. Version 3 solved the fall damage issue, but it was remarkably slower than the version 2. So I flew a kite and contemplated the version 4. I based the design of the version 4 off the slime farm Mark III. I increased the size of the version 4. Now that it was long enough, skeletons started to spawn. As I mentioned earlier, from killing skeletons you can acquire hooks. There's a 4% chance to get a hook from every skeleton you kill. I purchased grenades, and predictably, they are highly effective against slimes. The downside is, the version 4 has a fatal flaw, where it is extremely difficult to kill slimes without sending shrapnel into my face. So I stood above them and threw copious amounts of grenades. But for some reason, I decided to use the least efficient method possible, and throw grenades through a 1-block gap. That has about a 50% chance of working, and a 50% chance to fail and send shrapnel into my eyes. After killing 350 slimes, the insanity really started to kick in. Mushroom! The traveling merchant arrived and I purchased the ghee, increasing my defense by 4. But more importantly, I killed a skeleton and acquired 2 hooks. Too bad I can't craft a grappling hook because I don't have a singular piece of lead ore. On a happy note, I killed a cave bat and got a chain knife. This weapon single-handedly saved me from going insane and made killing slimes so much easier. Oh my god! This is so good! I killed 500 more slimes for an approximate total of 1,200 slimes, and I finally acquired 12 pieces of lead ore. So I crafted the ultimate piece of equipment, a bucket. Using the bucket, I collected the water and built a fishing area. But I realized I'm an idiot, and water does not flow upwards. If I had continued to build the fishing area, I would have wasted the only water in the entire world, and it'd be game over. So I fixed the fishing area. Would you look at that? Water does flow upwards. I crafted a wooden fishing rod, because I don't have enough lead for the reinforced fishing rod. So for now I have 5% fishing power, but I did have enough lead to craft chains. With the chains, I crafted the grappling hook. Testing the grappling hook, I used it to sketchily catch bait. With all that said and done, you know what time it is. Fishing is my only way to get ores, accessories, and life crystals. Because there's no gravity, I need specific accessories to increase my mobility. By fishing in the jungle, you can fish jungle crates and acquire the boomstick to meet the requirements for the arms dealer to spawn. While catching bait, I fell and left the atmosphere. It was at this moment when I realized I could have made collecting bait 100 times more efficient. But nope. This is what I subject myself to. Like, is it stupidity, or do I just like hurting myself psychologically? Anyway, I expanded the fishing spot. To effectively fish in Terraria, there must be 300 or more tiles of water. With iron I collected from fishing crates, I crafted the reinforced fishing rod. I was no longer a peasant with a meager 5% fishing power. I have become a 1%er and acquired 15% fishing power. To sum up the important items I fished, I acquired a bottle of tsunami, the sailfish boots, a frog leg, egglet, feral claws, and the boomstick from a jungle crate. Building an NPC house, the arms dealer arrived and I purchased the mini shark. Expanding into the sky, I built a fishing area. By fishing in the sky, you can fish sky crates and acquire the lucky horseshoe and red balloon. Soon after, I acquired 2 lucky horseshoes. I'll continue fishing more shortly because I figured it was time to kill. Extending to the left of the world, I found the old man and built the Skeletron arena. Once the arena was finished, I built a recovery chest. That is just a line of accessories to help me in case I need to recover my items. And because the world is a barren wasteland, I used mud to build the underground jungle. In the underground jungle, I can farm vines, stingers, and most importantly, spores to craft the jungle armor. Also, this saves me from having to build the underground jungle and wait for Plantera bulbs once I'm in hard mode. I crafted a tin helmet and iron boots, increasing my defense to 9. It's time to kill Skeletron. Using the grappling hook to dodge Skeletron and move throughout the arena worked for a grand total of 26 seconds before he remodeled my face. I can already tell killing Skeletron is going to be a major pain in my ass. You see, killing Skeletron without gravity sucks. So I recovered my equipment and designed a strategy to kill Skeletron without gravity. The minecart loop. In a test world, I built a minecart loop I have used in the past. The minecart loop works by creating a large enough gap with rails to loop around Skeletron. I tested the minecart loop, and it avoided most of Skeletron's attacks. But here's the twist. Minecart tracks don't work without gravity. The maze. What you need to know is that my thought process behind this design was a maze-like tunnel to lead Skeletron through and attack with grenades. This went horribly. The hoik loop. Hoiks are sloped blocks that can rapidly move the player across distances. In the process of designing a hoik loop without gravity, I realized I can just build a normal hoik loop and use it without gravity. So I tested the hoik loop and it failed. But for some reason I can't begin to comprehend, I decided it needs to be larger. Once the hoik loop was finished, I tried to summon Skeletron in a fraction of a second by interacting with the old man. So instead, I trapped the old man in a box above me. But here's a fun fact. When you summon Skeletron, he will spawn directly above the old man. And because there is no gravity, directly above the old man is me. Recovering my items, I accidentally entered the hoik loop and discovered you will die from fall damage if you are not wearing a lucky horseshoe, because the hoik loop functions like a particle accelerator and hurls you towards the floor at leg-breaking velocity. So I did it again. Why does this keep happening? By running along the floor of the hoik loop, you can phase into it. So I use this strategy to summon Skeletron, enter the hoik loop, and launch myself into his face. I increased the size of the arena, because size is 100% always the answer. And I'm not totally ignoring the fact that the hoik loop is a massive failure at all. What's the first stage of grief again? It's acceptance, right? Anyway, I summoned Skeletron directly above me, and miraculously survived with 2 HP. More importantly, the expanded hoik loop actually worked, until I rammed into his thick, calcium-filled skull. Here's the thing, because I only have 100 HP, one hit from Skeletron and I immediately die. To be able to tank more attacks, I require life crystals. But you can only acquire life crystals from gold crates, and gold crates are extremely rare. So I fished for jungle crates to acquire the fiberglass fishing rod, because with more fishing power, I have a higher chance of acquiring gold crates. To summarize the next 4 hours of my life, I collected jungle spores, extended into hell, and fished a balloon pufferfish. Minutes turned into hours of repeatedly catching bait and fishing. My brain feels like a plant deprived of sunlight. It took me 4 hours to acquire a singular jungle crate. There's a 19% chance to get the fiberglass fishing rod from every jungle crate you open. To be frank, I am way too self-respecting and would like to post this video sometime in the near future. So if you are an innocent young child, skip to here, because I will not be responsible for corrupting the minds of the youth. Okay, I'm going to be performing a little magic trick I call to duplicate, leave, and save the game. Load back into the world, but this time host it as a multiplayer server, and put the item you want to duplicate inside the chest. Then quickly hit Alt F4 and close your game. Load back into the world and you'll have the item inside your inventory and still inside the chest. I may have gone a little overboard and duplicated 1020 jungle crates. So I opened the jungle crates until I finally acquired the fiberglass fishing rod. But don't worry, I'm an honorable cheater and trashed everything else from the jungle crates and casted the money into the abyss. To sum up the next 5 hours of my life, I built a fishing area in the forest, acquired the ancient cobalt helmet, fished, caught more bait, collected jungle spores, caught more bait, and caught more bait. You see, having to repeatedly catch bait over the course of 10 plus hours makes you bash your head against the wall. So I relapsed.
Yeah, so I'm so tired of fishing.
Master bait. I promise this is the last time I will duplicate. I can stop whenever I want. I calculated my chances of fishing life crystals. Turns out, it can take 1 hour and 15 minutes to fish a singular life crystal, and I need 15. That means at a minimum, it could take me 18 hours to fish max life crystals. The idea of fishing for approximately a day sucks. Acquiring a gold crate after another 4 hours of fishing, you can tell I'm cooked by the sheer pain in my voice. So I duped 512 gold crates. I can stop whenever I want. But something weighed on me. Was my addiction taking control? Am I more than just a loser?
Goddamn right.
I was going to kill Skeletron with only 100 HP. Screw the Hoik loop. It was a failure anyway. To make a long story short, I fished a gold crate and acquired a life crystal, smashed my PC, extended the arena, and died 3 times. A very big problem presented itself. Skeletron kept turning into a dungeon guardian. Keep in mind, Skeletron will turn into a dungeon guardian if it turns daytime. The thing is, night is only 9 minutes. Therefore, I have to destroy Skeletron's hands and kill him before it turns daytime. But the problem is the mini shark and the boomstick can't deal enough damage before it turns day. I required building a platform in hell. I killed demons for the demon scythe. There's a 2.86% chance to get the demon scythe from every demon you kill. The thing is, hell is extremely dangerous, and if I die, all of my items will fall into the abyss. So I built an item catcher. This was an amazing decision, because I died. Thankfully, the item catcher saved my equipment. I killed a demon and acquired the demon scythe. Purchasing mana potions, now that I have the demon scythe, it's time to start the montage. Using the grappling hook, I jumped over the Skeletron by running back and forth along the arena. I continuously drank mana potions and constantly used the demon scythe. The drawback is, the more mana potions you drink, you gain the mana sickness debuff. That lowers your magic damage. But I only have 9 minutes to kill Skeletron, so I have to do as much damage as possible. Once Skeletron's hands were destroyed, the fight became extremely easy. Skeletron will always hover above you, and because there's no gravity, the arena stopped the skulls from hitting me. This let me deal crazy damage when Skeletron chased me. Time was running out. I spammed the demon scythe and gave myself carpal tunnel in the process. The sun was rising. I switched to the mini shark, and at the last second, I died. Just kidding. I killed Skeletron.
Yeah! We did it! Oh, we did it!
Opening the treasure bag, I acquired the armored bone glove. After 30 hours of playing, I finally killed my first boss. Building an NPC house, now that Skeletron is dead, the Dryad can arrive. From the Dryad, I purchased grass seeds and acorns. Planting the grass seeds and doing a little urban landscaping, wood can grow again. Also, I purchased planter boxes from the Dryad. Planter boxes are great platforms because they can't be destroyed by lava. Sadly, they don't work without gravity. A small Terraria world is 4,200 blocks long, so I'll need 2,100 blocks for each side of the world. But to prevent the loss of my items, I need to build an item catcher on top of the runway. This means I'll need 8,400 blocks in total, but I'll extend the item catcher shortly. In the jungle, I collected a spore and crafted the jungle pants, increasing my defense to 26. Then, something crazy happened. It started to rain slimes. King Slime spawned, and it was very easy to dodge him, because without gravity, I am always above the King Slime. But I dropped my guard and nearly died. Opening the treasure bag, I acquired the slime hook, slime mount, and the solidifier. Using the solidifier, I can turn my 3000 gel into slime blocks, and use it to extend the Wall of Flesh arena. Also, I discovered mounts don't work without gravity. Equipping my backup gear, I extended the item catcher and died. This made me realize that building the item catcher at the bottom of the world was ridiculously stupid. So I devised a battle plan. Lowering the item catcher closer to the runway will funnel the Wall of Flesh and stop his eyes from shooting lasers. Fun fact, you can leave the game and enemies will despawn. I wish I remembered this before I lost all of my items. I finished building the Wall of Flesh arena and acquired a guide voodoo doll. Now that the arena was complete, it was time to kill the Wall of Flesh. But to summon the Wall of Flesh, I required... To acquire lava in an empty world, you have to kill lava slimes. In expert mode or higher, lava slimes will drop lava when they're killed. Building an area to kill the lava slimes without gravity, I constructed tubes to funnel the lava into a single block. Once I killed enough slimes to collect a bucket of lava, I duplicated it and made a lava pool. But I jumped inside the lava and was fireballed by an imp, and all of my items landed inside the lava. Thank God, all of my items were okay. I wanted to test the arena, so I summoned the Wall of Flesh. Using the mini shark, I did consistent damage and dropped the Wall of Flesh's HP into the hundreds. I thought I was going to kill the Wall of Flesh on my first try. But here's the thing, I didn't fully extend the arena to the other side of the world. So I ran out of platforms and continued to shoot while falling, and all of my items fell into the abyss. It only had 91 health remaining! 38 hours of work fell into the abyss. My jungle armor, lucky horseshoe, bone hand, boomstick, and the rest of my equipment was gone. But was I going to let this be the end? Yes. I'm just kidding. So I went back to... I crafted lead armor and equipped leftover accessories, purchased sunflowers from the Dryad, and crafted campfires. Extending the Wall of Flesh arena, I placed sunflowers and campfires for more speed and regeneration. Fishing in the sky, I acquired a lucky horseshoe. Oh, and I fished a life crystal in the forest. I expanded the jungle and collected spores. In the jungle, you can acquire ancient cobalt armor, but only man-eaters and hornets can drop it. So the mob farm I built was completely useless. I acquired the ancient cobalt chest piece and collected enough spores to craft the jungle pants and helmet. Luckily, I left my demon scythe in my chest. You see, with the full set of jungle armor, your magic damage and critical strike chance is increased, so I'll be using the demon scythe. I prepared iron skin and swiftness potions I acquired from crates. It's time to kill... Using the demon scythe, I dealt extremely fast damage. Once the Wall of Flesh dropped below 1000 HP, I switched to the mini shark and died. The fact is, I can't kill the Wall of Flesh because I'm too slow to outrun it. So to cut to the chase, I continuously used the demon scythe. The arena stopped his bottom eye from shooting lasers, and his top eye was extremely easy to avoid. But here's where it gets interesting. Because there is no gravity, the hungry try to reach me. This makes it very easy to attack the Wall of Flesh. Once the Wall of Flesh's HP dropped below 1000, I waited until the mana sickness debuff was gone and I was at full mana. This would let me do more damage. I ran ahead, attacking with the demon scythe, and killed the Wall of Flesh.
We did it!
From the treasure bag, I acquired the Pwn Hammer, Breaker Blade, and the Summoner Emblem. With the Wall of Flesh defeated, I am now in hard mode. But the challenge is only getting started. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe to get notified for part 2. Thank you to the members of the channel, and thank you for watching. And with that, I take my leave.